Welcome back to the Forward Slash Podcast. I'm your host, James Carman, and this is part 2 of our conversation with Sid Dutta. In part 1, we got into the data protection problem, how AI changed the game, and ran Sid through ship it or skip it. If you missed it, go back and start there. In this half, we've got more of our conversation with Sid, and then the part you've been waiting for, the lightning round. I hope you're mentally prepared. Let's get into it.
It took us over a decade from move from SSL to TLS, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about Ventive and PCI and WorldPay. Even those, swipe machines, that P2PE as we call it, point-to-point encryption, majority of those machines are using triple DES. They have not even gotten to AES. So we have this concept called DUCPUT, derived unique key per transaction. In that case, once that swiping is done, a unique key gets created, and then that encrypts that credit card number to send it to the processor, and the processor decrypts at the other end with that unique key. So that encryption that is going down the wire is using triple DES. And we haven't even moved away from that, right?
That's definitely vulnerable.
DES was I think way back when, and then they just expanded it to, triple DES. So now you have 3 times the key size. But nowhere you will see data encryption standard DES being used. Everybody has moved to AES.
Right.
Now, on the AES side, Quantum has created this Grover's algorithm, all right, which was allegedly reducing the bit strength to half. So if you have an AES 128-bit key encryption, Grover's algorithm will make it to the strength of AES 64-bit, which can be broken very easily. So the idea was that at least keep 256 so that even if it gets attacked by a quantum computer using Grover's algorithm, it will bring it to 128-bit strength. That is still solid.
Yeah.
Then the latest study that happened a month and a half back, actually Grover's algorithm did not reduce a 128-bit to 64. It got it reduced to 112.
Oh, okay.
So it was still strong.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, AES is still considered to be quantum safe.
Okay. Even at the 128.
Even at 128,
Yeah.
But obviously, we and enterprises have been following 256 for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's probably a safe thing. Now, 10 years down the line, it may say there's a new algorithm comes in and that can even break AES. It's what do we now? Push up to 384?
Right.
512? Who knows, right? So I think time will tell.
And the 2 algorithms you mentioned, so there was Shor, SHOR, Shor's algorithm, and Grover's algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay. In case people want to look that up. Grover, the little blue guy from Sesame Street. That guy. I don't think it wasn't him that came up with the algorithm. It's not the little Muppet dude. Okay. No. Okay. It's someone else. But Shor is the other person. Okay. So you're saying we should be making best efforts to upgrade our encryption algorithms to what's currently considered quantum safe.
It's going to be something that they'll have to start working now. I think some of the bottlenecks that would be when there's a lot of B2B transactions that are happening across encrypted tunnels that are currently using quantum fragile algorithms that have to go into quantum safe algorithms. I think the challenge would be that whether the recipient at the other end has also upgraded or got to a point where they are able to support. Otherwise, it's going to be you're downgrading it to when the handshake process happens, hey, I'm going to use this post-quantum cryptography encryption. And the other side say, nope, sorry, we haven't really had the support on this. So we're going to just revert it back to, whatever, PKI, RSA or whatever.
Right.
So I think those are some of the challenges. So I think internally within the enterprise, I wouldn't see a lot of those migration happening because you're talking about who's harvesting and decrypting data internally within the network, right? Typically, it's when the traffic goes out on encrypted tunnel and outside of the enterprise network. And that's where some of the strategic relationships, transfers of whether it's billing data, settlements,
Right.
or even money movement.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So those are, I think, the ones that are more critical, and that's what they'll have to kind of focus on, the external side, and then have a pretty much a plan across each of these relationships to make sure that they are upgrading pretty much at the same pace as they are. So, but yeah, the enterprises should be focusing on that. At how long it takes for each of them, only time will tell, and of course, what sort of bandwidth and budget they have in order to get to that.
Yeah. I know you hear a lot of these folks there's a couple of different concepts that people take this kind of laissez-faire attitude with, but like one of them is like, well, security is only as strong as its weakest link, blah, blah, blah. Right. So they're like, well, the vendors we talk to on the outside don't support it anyway. So why are we going to spend all this money internally? Blah, 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 blah. You should still do that, right? You should still be making those investments. The vendors will get there, right? And it's on them, right? I mean, that they want to do that. The onus is on them, and they're incentivized to upgrade because they're selling a product and they charge money and they don't want to lose that money. So it'll get there. But so that whole like, it's not, the vendors aren't there anyway, so it's not even worth it. You would disagree with that?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I think this is just the evolution of any legacy algorithm that we have found vulnerabilities and we have migrated to the latest and greatest, right?
Yeah.
This is just a very big leap.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just not another version of their current RSA algorithm or ACDSA. It's just going to an entirely different cryptography.
Yeah.
So I think that's where.
Yeah. What is it? When I was looking into like the NIST standards, geeks cannot help themselves. I looked at, have you seen it? Like the Kyber and dilithium.
Yeah.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Kyber crystals from Star Wars and the dilithium crystals from Star Trek. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. We get made fun of enough. Right. You have to put Star Wars and Star Trek into your like encryption standards. Seriously.
Yeah. There's probably a branding department there, right? He was working on that.
All right. And then the other thing I would say around this, one thing that I recommend to folks is if you're going through the hassle of upgrading your encryption, you should probably go ahead and implement crypto agility so that if something, if you need to do it again, it's not this big, tremendous effort. Like look at like envelope-based encryption type stuff and make sure that you're agile in that, oh, actually, quantum computers came out in 2256 isn't good enough. Whoops, we need to go to 512. Right. You can do that quicker and easier. So enough with all the gibberish that we've been doing so far.
All right.
We have 3 segments on this show. We have our kind of main conversation. We do the ship it or skip it, and we've already been through that. And now we come to the real stuff. This is what everybody's waiting for. This is a lot of people just fast forward through.
Wow. Yeah.
They're like, I don't care about this stuff that they're talking about. Let me get to the real meat of this show, and that's our lightning round. And that's what the majority of our audience, they're going to tune in for this. They're going to skip over all the other nonsense and they're whatever. AI, cryptography. I can't even spell cryptography. They don't care about that.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah. And this is high stakes. This is really where the answers matter. And there's an algorithm, advanced algorithm where we score these answers and you'll be judged based on your answers against your peers, all of our other guests. We have a leaderboard and everything, and we'll put you on there wherever you level out on that leaderboard. It's big stuff. This is really important, and I want to make sure you understand that before we enter the lightning round, that you can frame your mind around this, the importance of this. I mean, this isn't like the piddly stuff like cybersecurity. Is that how you say that? That stuff you were talking about earlier. Nobody cares about that.
I know.
You know what I mean? Nobody cares about cybersecurity. It doesn't impact anyone. But the real thing that people want to know, are you an Ariel or a Jasmine kind of a person? Little Mermaid or Aladdin?
Aladdin. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a fan. Sourdough or wheat?
Wheat.
Wheat. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, here's one. We've had a bit of a kind of a social experiment that's been ongoing. And I'm not going to stop doing this. I don't know why, but I'm not. Do you like the smell of gasoline?
No.
No. And I say that with surprise. Most of our answers have been yes. But it's not like, I want to just smell gasoline. You know what I mean? They're not weirdos.
Right.
It's mostly around like, hey, when I smell gasoline, that reminds me of stopping on our way to the mountains to go skiing with my grandpa or something.
Okay.
It's like it's an associative thing usually.
Right, yeah.
When we fill up the boat to go out on the lake or blah, 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 whatever it is. It's usually not like, oh yeah, I really love gasoline. It's not that. It's an associative thing. But I think we've had a handful of folks in the past. We've been asking this question for months. There's only been a handful. So you're one of the few. You're unique.
Yeah.
You're unique. I'm not saying it's the wrong answer. I'm just saying it's not.
Yeah, I was like, if you look at it from that perspective, that does it remind you of like a happy memory and stuff like that? Yeah, that's a very different way to kind of respond. But yeah, just in the aspect of like the smell of gasoline, I would probably rather not smell gasoline while I'm driving, because then I'm thinking there's something, leak or something going on. Right?
Yeah, that's usually an indication of something that's not good. And I guess one of our guests talked about, I pride myself on being a movie guy, and I know about movies. I usually get most of the movie references, but one guy brought up gasoline fights, and that's from the movie. What's the model one with Ben Stiller or whatever? I don't even remember the name of the movie, but it was in the beginning of that movie. They had a gasoline fight, and all the models died or whatever. I did not get the reference. Wow. I was like, yeah, I guess a gasoline fight could happen. I was like completely caught off guard, and I was. Yeah. It's embarrassing to me, but that would be. I could see if you had lived through a gasoline fight, and all of your friends had died from that. Gasoline probably wouldn't be a thing that you like to smell.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's not important.
Yeah.
But you know what is important? Do you know what SCUBA stands for?
Nope.
No. Okay. Fair enough. What's your favorite carnival food?
Do I get any choices? Because like
some people would say like the what do they call it? Like the funnel cake, elephant ear funnel cake, deep fried stuff, deep fried Snickers, deep fried Twinkies. Those sometimes come up as people.
So there's very different experiences on the food side back in India when it comes to carnival versus here. Right?
Okay,
I mean we have a very different type of food stalls, and now of course there's like Asian food festivals, or there's another one happening this Sunday at the Voice of America Park. I think the Flavors of India or something. So you get back in
That's this work this weekend.
This Sunday,
no kidding.
11 o'clock I think it starts. So back in India, with these carnivals, you have kind of that type of. You got the deep fried and the shallow fried stuff as well, but they do have this other thing that I don't know how much you're into Indian foods, like the chaats, Indian chaats that you have, like Golgappa or Pani Puris, all of that. So I typically like to have those stuff there, but of course here you like this time when we were in the food festival, I think I had there was this Korean place where we had like a hot dog type of Korean hot dog, and then there was a Nepalese restaurant that I had dumplings. Right? So the ones that are like finger foods, right? We can just like hold it and eat. But I really love the Indian side of where you can actually get the chaats, like the pani puris and stuff, which is basically like puffed balls where you pierce it and then you stuff it with the potato mix and a few other spices and stuff, and then dip it into like tamarind and coriander water, and then you put that entire thing in your mouth. Right, so that's kind of like how
sounds really good.
Yeah.
So you don't have rednecks in India then?
Well, our own version of them. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but like our rednecks, you think of like they wear a lot of things that have been airbrushed or tie dye.
Right.
Mullets. Yeah. They like to deep fry things a lot. Like some of the things I'm thinking of. My people. You know what I mean? Like that's where my people. That doesn't seem like because what you were talking about, it almost sounds like a delicacy. But when I'm thinking of carnival food, it's like, how can I induce diabetes on myself faster is what I think of when I think of our carnival foods. You guys are
but we got less of the sweet stuff. There's a lot of, obviously oil and high calorie stuff in there.
Okay.
Egg rolls.
Okay.
Chicken egg rolls.
Now we're talking.
So like the hot kadi rolls that you have, like you have this whole paratha kind of a thing, which you deep fry it. Then you create the filling with, either chicken or goat meat or, and then of course, egg fried on it. And then you put some onion and other pickles and stuff and roll it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pretty 9 to 10 inches long, fat, kadi roll. Yeah, that's pretty common there.
Okay.
Right. And there's a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I think the sweet part is where you have separate shops for that. Typically, you won't find a sweet shop in a carnival or in a fair. Right? They are like places where you go and eat sweets. And I come from West Bengal, Calcutta, which is, the east side. And we are known for our sweets.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have sweets in breakfast as well, right? So,
okay, I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned, for a long time, I didn't like Indian food. However, I went to work with some folks and I was telling, they were like, let's go get lunch. Let's go to this Indian place. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not much into Indian food. And they're like, whoa, hold on a second. And they taught me the trick. They're like, you need to go when you see folks you work with who are from India,
right,
where they go to eat.
Yeah.
Go there and eat that food. And I went and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Indian food. I don't know what any of it's called. I love it all though. I can just give me all of it.
That's the thing is there's too much variety. Even there's like nothing you can categorize as that. Okay, that is Indian food because India, is so diverse.
Yeah,
that you have like so many different cuisines. The South Indian cuisine, even in South India, there are like 4 different states, and they have their own ways of doing the same dish. And as you come, towards the north, there are different places where they have very different flavors of the same stuff. Go to Bengal, like east, or you go to Mumbai, Maharashtra, they have very different. So that's another thing. Like when you go to a restaurant, you're like thinking, oh, that's an Indian restaurant, but the chicken tikka masala in a South Indian cuisine is entirely different from the chicken tikka masala or butter chicken in a Punjabi or North Indian restaurant.
Huh. Yeah. So it's not the same. It may be called the same thing, but they make it different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Well, and it's so funny. I love how Americans are like, oh man, that's so weird that India's like that. What? Like go to North Carolina and get barbecue and go to Memphis and get barbecue and then go to Kansas City and get barbecue and go to Texas and get barbecue. It's all different, but it's all barbecue, right? Like that, we have the same concept here.
Right.
We're weird. I mean, I don't know why we would think it's different elsewhere. All right, we got to keep on with the real stuff here. If there's a spider in your house, are you catch it and release it outside, or you kill it?
I kill it.
Kill it. Now, are you like fire? They go like, I will burn this house down to get away from this spider. Are you very worried about spiders, or are you just kind of mildly?
Very mild. I mean, my son, he will scream. Right? Yeah. Of course, wife and daughter. For me, it's like I see something that, okay, where did it go?
Yeah. All
right. Next time when I see it, I'll kill it.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
I think my reaction most of the time, I'm a nice guy. If it depends on the situation. If the spider scares me, like I went to go to the bathroom and I opened up the lid and there was a spider in the bowl.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, you're going down, buddy.
Oh yeah.
You scared me to death.
Right.
Like, but if it's like near a door and I can maybe get some paper going, but the jumping spiders, that's going to jump on me and that is going to bite me. You're going down.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, it just depends on how much they scare me at the time, I think. It's so funny. And I'm not going to ask you to answer this because you're a security guy and you will see this. One of the stupid questions on this list. I have a whole list of these questions. What's the name of the street you grew up on? Who the heck? Why would you put that's a security question? I'm not.
Yeah,
this
is
so
like
stupid.
PII.
Yeah. Do you think anyone considers you to be a hipster?
That's a new one.
That's a deep question. It's a little introspection going on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you dress nice. You're a nice dresser.
Yeah, I mean, like. That's the thing about like when I think about hipster, then like, okay, somebody who dresses well and then is in shape and then is presentable, that's one thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, oh, you're a hipster, and it's like that's you known for that, or like this is your brand and stuff. I don't know. I mean,
you wouldn't identify yourself as a hipster,
No,
probably.
I would. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fair. Scale of 1 to 10, and again, feel free to expand that range. I say that every time. Whenever we do a 1 to 10 question, I say feel free to go outside.
Right.
I don't even know why I say the 1 to 10. Anyway, I do. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at trivia?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Solid answer. Solid. Again, I don't know what's good or not, but I just I like my editorial comments. Sour Patch Kids or Swedish Fish?
Sour Patch.
Sour Patch.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Africa?
No. I'd love to. Yeah, one time we were actually planning to go to South Africa for our, I think it was 10th wedding anniversary, but I think the time it was like pretty hot.
Mm.
So we switched to Australia then. It was just like hitting from spring to summer during that time. But, South Africa was even hotter, so we kind of skipped that. But yeah, that's definitely on the bucket list. I don't know when we will be able to do that.
My bucket list, one of the, if people ask me, where's one place you always want to go? Australia.
Yeah.
I think, how did you like it?
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah. I mean, we actually, 2 weeks was tiring because we went to multiple places. So went to Cairns, Port Douglas. It was entirely, tropical. We got to see all the exotic animals. Went to the Great Barrier Reef and did snorkeling and, submarine ride. Then we even, took a ropeway over the Daintree National Forest. So it was like entirely different, place, right? And then we came down to Melbourne, a very beautiful, sophisticated city, and the temperature was like very low. And we came from the hot and humid to 15 degrees centigrade, because in Australia they don't use FPS system. So that was like a very, very clean and, very well managed city. And then came down to Sydney. Sydney was like New York. Right? I mean, it was like the older side of, New York. And weather was unpredictable. One day it's hot and one day it's like, raining and a lot of things to do in Sydney. So it's like any other, big city. So yeah, but it was tiring. I mean, 2 weeks wasn't sufficient. I mean, we didn't cover some of the other side as well. And someone was saying, hey, why don't you like cover New Zealand? I'm like, that's like probably another week at least or even more. But yeah, I mean, Australia is pretty good.
New Zealand where they did like the Lord of the Rings and stuff, I think, right? So you can go, I think you can do a tour of
yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be fun. I'm not even a big, huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I think I would do that.
I love actually Lord of the Rings.
I enjoy it,
yeah.
But I never read the books. Everybody's like, well,
I didn't either.
But I did enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite childhood television program?
Oh, yeah, there was like a lot of, I think we had these two epics in the Indian religion, Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Mm-hmm.
So Lord Ram, his story, and then Mahabharata was the biggest epic, right? So those two, were televised. Ramayana came first, and it was a multi-year thing. And every Sunday it used to come at 9 a.m. Indian streets were empty during that time.
Wow.
So
it was like a series. They told the story.
At that time, you didn't have any, all of these other satellite, channels and, so many channels, or 24/7 channels, right? So you had this very specific time of the day that, the Indian television channels, they would actually have something that would be telecasted. Saturday and Sunday, they used to show movies during the evening. And then in the morning, you had these, mega TV series. So Ramayana and Mahabharata, these were the things we just loved. But then I got hooked to when it, Spider-Man was a big, and He-Man, right? So these were like the Western side of, things that were, telecasted there. So, and they also used to come like one day a week at a particular time. And then all the kids were like, hooked.
I got to go home and watch He-Man. Yeah. Or let's go to Billy's house and watch He-Man.
Right. Yeah.
And I am surprised that it has, I guess, have there been He-Man movies? Yeah, Dolph Lundgren, I guess, did He-Man at one point. Was it Dolph?
Is it? Okay. I mean, I haven't seen.
But there's a new movie coming out. Like,
oh, okay.
Like
I haven't seen a movie
this week. I think maybe.
Wow.
There's an actual like feature film, a He-Man movie. I think I might see it. I've heard it's actually pretty good. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah,
we had the cartoon version, right? So at that time,
yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Now,
so
did they have all the like Silverhawks and Marshall Bravestar and He-Man? Like all of those are out at the same time. Did you guys get all those?
No, not all of those.
Okay.
Yeah. We did Street Hawk at that time as well.
Okay.
And Spider-Man was there. What else?
Transformers? Did you get Not of that? Okay.
Not that. I'm talking a long, long time back. I mean, I don't know how old you think I am, but yeah, I'm
You're probably. I mean, I'm 51, so I mean, we're probably similar age.
Similar, yeah.
You look better than me, but whatever. I'm not upset about it or anything. But yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go for a couple more questions here. Do you ever post inspirational quotes on social media? Are you that kind of person?
No.
Do you Instagram your food?
Food?
Yeah, your Instagram. Do you take a picture of your food before you eat it?
I used to do that during COVID times.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't really post it on Facebook or Instagram, but to WhatsApp groups because like I was cooking a lot during that time.
Okay, we got a lot of time at home.
Yeah, we got a lot of time, and then my in-laws were here visiting, and they got stuck. So we had a extended family thing. So like every day we are like cooking something.
Yeah.
Right. So I did a lot of cooking during that time. But yeah, I'm not like the one to like post it on here. But the only thing that I usually post is either my music videos or my band performance and stuff. And then before it used to be cricket and now sometimes I'll post about professional things as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So any conference or any photos or whatever.
I mean, you'll be posting about this podcast episode, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So I do that. Yeah, but not inspirational quote. Yeah, I see a lot of stories of people like on Instagram story. They will have like multiple, and then each one of those have like different quotes and stuff. I'll read them and some maybe good, but I'll not do that.
Yeah. Now I got to double click into this. That's a manager speak. Double click. I got to use that every now. Let's double click into that. The in-laws getting stuck. How long were they stuck here?
Well, I think probably 6 months.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, because obviously there were like no flights.
Can't go anywhere. Yeah.
So my mother-in-law, she came in November and brother-in-law came in February. So they were both supposed to go back in April.
Okay.
But then March 2020,
and then
COVID happened.
Nothing.
And I think they left like end of August.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And I won't ask you if you enjoyed that or not.
I had a lot of alcohol, so that's that was a good thing, right? I mean, the liquor stores were open.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're not shutting that down.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
But in India, they were. Right?
Did they shut it down? Okay.
When the lockdown happened, there was like nothing open.
No booze in India, huh?
You can think about it, right?
They got to get their priorities right.
Yeah. That's the thing. I was like, people are obviously, if the booze shops are open, people will go out. Right, and then they'll flock around it, right? So that's
I can see that.
Yeah, so there's like any place that draws crowd, they shut those off.
Well, you guys are a lot more concentrated, I would say. Than
I mean,
what
if
we
you
are
look
here.
at the density wise, we are essentially 3 times the population of US and 1/3 the size. So we're like 9 times, from a density standpoint.
Yeah, you're like 3 times the total population of our country, and everybody's in Texas, kind of, basically. Right? It's almost like that level. Yeah, maybe a little bigger than Texas, but so that would be, you would have different concerns.
It was a very, very tough time. For people, and particularly the poor people, the daily laborers. It was very, very bad. Time, and now everything. I think the next wave, whenever we have like with anything else, people have kind of gotten a little bit over and probably a little bit more prepared.
Yeah.
That time, like nobody really knew.
Yeah. This hadn't happened.
Yeah.
It was fascinating how we kept, a lot of people, I mean, we took care of each other. You know what I mean? Like the people who were working at the food place, I mean, we were tipping like crazy. We still are now.
Yeah.
You ring up my order at McDonald's and ask them for 18% tip on that. Like, are you kidding me? But like, it was fascinating how many people we kept everybody, people did lose their jobs, but I mean, we did take care of a lot more people.
Right.
Well, it's just fascinating how well we actually got through that without a ton of like, just you would think it would have been just like devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad, right? But from I think people were still okay.
Yeah.
Even though nobody was working, and it was crazy. All right. Finally, our last question. Have you ever worn socks with sandals?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Live and you learn, I guess. I don't know. Anything you've got going on coming up soon? Album releases from your band, or are you, from a product standpoint, from your company, anything big? You guys going to be at a big conference or anything like that? Anything you want to share with the audience that, like, hey, check me out here?
Yeah, no, I think on the company side, so there's obviously a new capability that we are going to release, and particularly as we were talking about the runtime intent analysis part.
Yeah.
So we branded that capability as Aura. So that's something we are also kind of looking into Microsoft, from a partnership standpoint as well, because the part that we integrated initially was with Microsoft Copilot.
Mm-hmm.
As users interact. This is a complementary capability on top of Microsoft's own guardrails, on the Copilot side of prompts and data being retrieved, and we are analyzing that out of band, from an intent analysis perspective, and then also have the ability to kind of go inline to enforce some policies, whether it's redaction or data desensitization or masking or whatever. So that's one we're adding to the product line. And then, of course, the runtime capability of frictionless and automated data desensitization. We're working across multiple use cases, and not just AI. I mean, there's a lot of the legacy workloads, even something as basic as transactional, right? You collect data from a online form and you're writing that to a backend, and we basically desensitize that on the fly without you having to touch the application.
Oh, wow.
So that's the frictionless part is where our biggest differentiator has been, like where you don't need to modify any of your applications and things just automatically get protected. The same challenge, we lived through.
Sure.
Right. That was as we were talking before. So that's what. So yeah, it has been a interesting ride, and like trying to get more and more adoption and customer base. So the networking aspect is obviously tremendously valuable there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, personal side, I think there's a big Bollywood playback singer. He's performing on 19th of June at the Princeton High School Matthews Auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so his name is Javed Ali. I'm actually opening for him.
Nice. And is he like, he's a big deal?
He's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's done multiple playbacks, and I actually met him, like this was a funny story. 2003, I was in Bangalore before coming to US. So there was a corporate musical event that happened, and one of the hosts, who's also very well known in India, he got him as like the accompanying artist, right? It was a musical event, so it was, and then nobody knew him at that point of time. At that time, this gentleman who was the main star in that program, he said that when talent actually reaches sky high, you get someone like him.
Okay.
But like at that point of time, nobody knew him. So it was like a budding artist. And then he started to get some playbacks, and sang for many musicians. And now he's an established name. So when he was coming to Cincinnati, so the Delta Hotels, they were the ones who were hosting this. Jay Bedi, Montu Bedi, and these other guys, I've been friends with, and they've supported my music and came to my music launch event as well. And that's where, we started talking about that, hey, Javed Ali is coming, so why don't you open for him? I said, did you want me the whole band? So that would be a lot of logistical thing, because we got to get our stuff sound tested, and then we perform, and then we have to get our instruments out because he's bringing his own musicians.
Sure.
So all of those things. Then they say, yeah, maybe just you do solo then. I said, okay, so we'll probably do that. So yeah, that's something I haven't started rehearsing yet, but so I was thinking about like what songs to sing, and then I figured out I'll probably do my originals.
Okay.
Yeah. So that doesn't conflict with, because I don't know what he's going to sing. So if I pick like a famous Bollywood song,
okay, yeah,
and apparently he had that in this playlist, so that may not work out good.
And he would, you'd be showing him up, is what you're saying. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do it as well. That's what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, I'm like, So nobody wants that to happen, right?
Yeah, you feel bad, making the guy look bad. He traveled all the way over here, and you make him look bad. I mean, that would feel.
He's making the money, right?
Yeah. So, well, I guess he'd be laughing all the way back.
Yeah, I'm the free artist, so it doesn't matter how well I sing or how bad, right? So, but that's something is just happening next weekend.
So, I just remembered this guy. My buddy sent me videos of this guy, and he's like super smooth, like a Benny Lava. Is that the guy's name? He's from India. Is that a guy? Is he popular, or are people just making fun of him?
So Benny, there's Benny, a different singer, and I don't know whether the last name is Benny Dayal is the guy who actually sings very well.
Okay, but there's this guy was like smooth. Kind of real. I don't know. The videos were like humorous because he's just so smooth.
Oh, okay.
I think his name was Benny Lava.
Well, there's a lot of content creator in India, right?
Okay.
So it's very hard to, at least even for us, to determine like, is this a big deal, or this guy is just like suddenly a influencer that has a lot of followers and by doing like quirky videos and stuff, right? So
maybe that's what it was. But there's 1 billion people, so that's bound to happen. So okay, so you got your band coming up, or it's just you.
This is just
opening,
me, right? Yeah.
And then you got the new, and then if people want to find out more about Privaclave, is it privaclave.ai? That's right. Okay, and can you do like a trial? Can you kick the tires on this thing? Okay,
yeah. So like a lot of our customers, they started off with trial license, and initially we give that like for 90 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's something they can easily get and try out. And we're even like having some of the IT service providers who do provide services for their clients.
Yeah,
those are all channel partner agreements and stuff. So yeah, so they they can basically use the product and test it to the point where they want to break it, or even find stuff that could be a feature for us, right? Or suggest improvements. So that's what this actually helps us, right? When the rubber meets the road, then they're like what all the things that the customers may or may not like, and that's where where you have to kind of do some changes and make it better. I mean, it could be anything like UI or reporting side, or even performance, or hey, we need these additional field types or data types, that we want to protect.
We call that crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
In other words, free labor. Yeah. That's what we call it in the business. It sounds better if you call it crowdsourcing. It sounds like a thing, but it's really just, it's getting folks to help you out there. This has been great. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad we did this face to face.
I know.
This was a lot of fun. I loved setting everything up to do this face. We always do it remote, but I enjoyed this a lot. I feel like Joe Rogan, because he does this. He does the across the table thing. But I don't have a guy that can pull up videos for me or anything like that. We don't have that yet, but I'm working on it. Okay, I'll get there someday. Well, thank you for joining us.
Well, really. Thank you for having us. This was wonderful. I mean, I'm glad that we actually could do this in person, and this was a great experience. And we'll see, how this thing turns out.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to work on my voice, because I just listening to this whole time. You just have such a great voice. I'm like, I got to really step up my game. You got to, Anyway, all right. Well, if you'd like to get in touch with us here at the /, drop us a line at the / Calibrity.com. See you next time. The / podcast is created by Calibrity. The / team is director and producer Ryan Wilson, editing by Steve Baradelli, marketing support by Taylor Blessing, and I'm your host, James Carman. Thanks for listening.